Welcome to Polished Pickup TV. I am your host, Trisha of the Polished Mage. I am so excited to come in so last minute on this optical illusion weekend for the shop with none other than Jen of Jen and Berries. I just want to preface this by saying Jen is the most patient human I think I've ever come across. And thank you so much for doing this and just for scheduling and getting here to this point. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. And I don't think my husband would agree with you that I'm the most patient person, but I appreciate it. I'm going to have
Yeah.
to play this for him.
Hey, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to have everyone in the comment section and stuff. We're all back in Jen. Okay. Because I'm telling you, she's like, you want to support awesome people? Yes, this brand. I'm just going to go ahead and start off with Jen and Berries. I feel like between your bottle shape and your colors, I feel like you have definitely come to the scene with, I can tell it's your polishes, for lack of better words. I can tell it's you. You've got your own flavor. I love it. And of course, I love the bottle shape too. It's very unique. Can you explain to us, like, where does Jen and Berries, the name, come from?
So when I was a kid, my family and I used to go camping kind of all across the Eastern coast. So one year we went and visited the Ben& Jerry's factory in Vermont. And one of the families that was camping with us also had another daughter named Jen. So they thought it was just fun to say Jens and Berries based on the name.
Oh,
So
that's cute.
when I was trying to come up with a name for my business, I came up with honestly a lot of stupid ideas. But the one that kept sticking was Jen and Berries because it was personal. And I do love ice cream.
Yes, Jen and Berries. I almost said it, Jen and Berries. Ben& Jerry's is like, oh, it's so good. The best, the best. That's awesome. So what got you into polish? Like, how did that begin?
Okay, so I always loved nail polish as a kid. It was the most traditionally girly thing that I ever did. I remember my aunts buying me one was a Sinful Colors. It was this bright purple that absolutely stained, but it was so pretty. And I always tried to do. Sorry,
That's okay.
demon.
That's
Okay.
okay.
I always tried to do fun little nail things. So if it was a Sally Hansen nail stencils or my own little, it looked like a smush manicure, just by taking like a little bit of acetone and thinning it down and doing like little
Yeah.
marbles on my nails. And then it was probably, I don't even want to guess the year, but I found Instagram. And when I found Instagram, I found all these nail artists, and my mind was blown. It was people like Yagala and Urban Nail Art, and just these beautiful designs. And along with that, I saw all these amazing polishes that I'd never seen before. So I was working in basically a finance job, and it was just there's no creativity at all there. And I needed an outlet. So it was Girly Bits at the time had a like make your own polish kit. So you got to select the base, some liquid colorants, and all these types of glitters. So I bought that kit and I made a bunch of terrible polishes and discovered that I really don't much like glitter myself. And then I kept looking for more things, and I found, hollow and flakies and shivers. Oh my. And that was my creative outlet.
It just came through. Wow. So do you feel like were you collecting before, or did you have a favorite brand before or anything like that?
So yeah, I collected. Rogue is my absolute favorite.
Oh, Rachel. She's
Her
gonna love to
flaky
hear that.
polishes, her polishes. Yeah, so she knows. It was the first PPE. I went up to her and all nervous, and I said, you're my maker crush," and
Oh,
I was so nervous, but she was sweet and awesome, and it was great.
she's hilarious. I don't I like felt the same way. Like I felt like I had this idea of I mean really all the makers, all of you guys. I feel like I had this idea of how you guys were gonna be, or I don't know like what I was thinking. And then yeah, meeting y'all in person, it was just like, oh my God, they're people. Like they're just humans. It's okay. Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, that's funny. That she's a hoot. If you, those of you watching, I did have Rachel on PPUTV a couple months ago, so go check that out after you check out this episode too. Um, do you feel like if it wasn't for Instagram that Jen and Berries might not have been a thing, or do you feel like it was just time to have a creative outlet somewhere?
So I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have taken all the little itty bitty steps to realizing this is something I could do on my own if it wasn't for finding all those nail artist accounts
yeah.
and Amy Polish in general.
Gosh, there was like, I want to go look because I want to see if some of the old school bloggers, like the really old school ones, Yagala was, oh my goodness, she was like um just wicked talented. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course you saw the polishes in those lighting situations. It was just like, oh my God, like
Mm-hmm.
wow. I never thought of that.
What sorcery is this?
Yes, like what? How is that? I know coming from a swatcher perspective, when I saw those types of lighting situations and that type of presentation of content, I guess, to me, that sparked it for me for like, how do I do that? How do I get there? That's interesting. Do you feel like when you're creating, do you feel like you have like a favorite child for what finish you tend to go for?
When in doubt, hollow flake it out.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you do those really, really well.
They're my favorite. They're so sparkly and they're just they're just beautiful. They're my favorite finish. Sorry, Latanya.
No, I mean, listen, I will always forever be glitters, sparkles, holographic. I mean, that's to me, that's what got my moth to the flame, is the rainbows. We didn't see that a whole lot in the grocery stores
Right.
or in drugstores. But do you feel like there's I guess, how is your creativity process for when you're doing these things?
So a lot of it depends. Sometimes I will have a name and then find an inspiration picture. I
Mhm.
usually will have some sort of inspiration picture to follow for the colors, whether it's loosely or not. Sometimes it's just the picture I start with. Sometimes it's the theme. And every once in a while, I will just come up with a polish and let's see what this does. Let's see what this
Yeah.
does. And then it's harder for me to figure out where it fits in. So most of those usually just sit in a drawer.
So do you have a lot of prototypes? That's my
I
favorite
do.
question.
I do. Every year at PBE, I do these little make me an offer sales where I'm like, offer me a couple bucks and I'll get rid of them because they're just going to sit here otherwise.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I'll just give them away during like Black Friday. They just accumulate otherwise.
That's awesome. Do you have another one of my favorite questions because it's just nerded out. Do you have like a I guess not necessarily a recipe book, but like for your prototypes and stuff, is it this just wild manuscript that you have or
I use grid paper notebooks. So I write down everything to the hundredth of a gram.
oh
And I
wow.
do a little swatch in the notebook.
Hmm.
And I do swatching on swatch wheels as well. So I keep those all. I do have notebooks that just have tons of little swatches and my little scratches on
I love it. I love it. It's
them.
awesome. I see behind you there's not Helmers. Those aren't Helmers. That's oh, I don't remember what they're called.
The
Melmers?
Alex's.
The Alexes. Yes, 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 yes. Are those prototypes or Jen and Barry
So
stuff?
no, that is mostly on the left side, it's some overpour, it's some supplies, it's samples. On this side, it's just empty bottles, empty brushes, loose brushes and caps. And then the big one has all ingredients. And there's only one drawer of prototypes in here. But I do have a couple Helmers that get filled. And I also have just a bin that's just full of them.
That's amazing. There's a big giant bottle behind you too. Is that one of those? I saw one of those at PBE. Those are huge.
That is the one. My husband made that for me with his 3D printer when he got one that was big enough to do just the base color and then the cap separately. So I was saving it to do a April Fool's. So we have minis and now we have maxis, but spoilers out.
Aw. Oh my God. How long did that take for him to 3D print?
That it's really thin, so it's not thick. I
Yeah.
don't know, a couple hours, maybe 5 hours or so. I don't know.
I don't know. I just always like, I'm always under the impression it takes like, I don't know, like a freaking week to
Some
make
things
anything,
take
anything like real big.
a full day, but it's not super complicated.
Yeah.
And it's not, like I said, it's got pretty thin borders, so it was fairly quick.
I almost want to get one now just so I can have a bunch of bottles behind me. That's awesome.
You can do that.
So I've got some supplies over there. Are there any sneaky
Mhm.
peekies? I'm seeing a little bin over there on the counter. I'm being so
So
nosy.
the in the flat that is my Star Trek villains collection from last month.
Okay,
I have some
okay.
orders that are going to be shipped out with those. I have some sneaky peekies though.
Ooh, I was getting there. I'm like eyeballing everything. Like, so what can we talk about those? What's on your
We
fingers?
can. So we can. I have my Trek of the month
Okay,
for
okay.
this month.
Uh-huh.
I have my seventh food fight collection.
Yes,
So
those are so fun.
number seven. And then I have a Polished Gamers that's coming up.
Gorgeous.
I have my Hella Handmade Creation.
Yes.
And I have an encore for this month, which is one of my favorite polishes ever.
Ooh. What was that one? That last
This
one?
is There Was a Button, I Pushed It.
That is very pretty. I like that immediately caught my eye. It was so like shifty on there. Oh my gosh. I it's funny because on your food fight collections, I always laugh at the names. They like it is like that is my kind of humor. It's silly, it's ridiculous. Do you ever have like trouble coming up with those names?
So a couple of years ago, because it's my seventh year doing this, or technically my sixth year, but it's my seventh collection. Um, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore because I couldn't think of anything. So like I tried to just keep it with Thanksgiving foods, but I ran out of Thanksgiving foods. And then my admin at the time, her name was Megan. I was talking to her about the fact that I don't think I can do this anymore because I really can't think of any more food names. And she's like, well,
Yeah.
my husband came up with one and it was the Brussels sprouts. And I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
oh
so good.
God. So
So
that kind
good.
of like created, more ideas in my head. That is one collection that I come up with the names and then find a picture and then make the polish.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
have to
interesting.
come up with the names first. So I have brown raisins, I have artichokes, I have apples, and I have gourds with for this year.
I love it so much. It's so good. And it's funny because yeah, every year I see them, I'm like, this is incredible. Like not only is the names like just outlandishly ridiculous, hilarious, awesome, but then it's like the colors. Yeah, like I remember I think last year there was an asparagus one, if I remember, or was that I think it was last year.
Artichoke was last year.
Or the
Asparagus is this
artichoke.
year.
And it's just like
Wait, no. Other yeah, other way around. Yeah, sorry, it was last year. Was
I do it
asparagus?
because
I'm wearing
it,
it. Jesus.
it was green. I thought
Yeah, yeah.
we'll go with that. But it was
Mhm.
like, holy crap! If like asparagus was pretty, like I just like was blown away by it. I was like, oh my God, this is wow, shimmery asparagus. Like I would have never thought of that. It's just, I don't know, it's just really clever. I love its pieces.
They're my favorite, and obviously, like I like fun names. I like pun names. I know a lot of people aren't down with it, but they make me
Yeah.
happy. So
It's silly. Like, and I think anything that's a hobby, I'm with you. I think it should be lighthearted, for lack of better words.
yeah, I want them to be fun.
I like that. So do you think that also like not just for the food fight collection, but do you feel like that also happens like where you're just like you does a name come to you and you're like, oh, I can make that into a polish.
Yes, a
That is
lot.
so weird in the best way
One of my
possible.
one of my favorite ones is it was I can't remember exactly the name of the theme, but it was one of my first polish pickups, and I was using the Statue of Liberty, and then the name Patina Turner came to me, and I couldn't think of anything else. Period.
I would if you like let Patina Turner go, I think I would have been offended for you. Like that is you have to use that. Yes, that's so clever.
Yeah, I
Oh,
couldn't. That was it. Couldn't change the inspo. Had to make that polish.
it had to be it. Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like all the makers I've talked to so far, everyone says they saw a photo, they were outside or something. But I feel like a lot of makers, yeah, it's kind of reverse. But I love that you completely think if it's called different direction. Like I love that. That's so different that I
I've
don't know.
never been accused of being normal.
Hey, you know what? Like I'm like mildly dyslexic. So when I meet people who are like, I'm going to look at things from a whole different perspective, I'm like, my people, my people. Do you feel like you have lots of plans? Are you one of those people just like, I'm going to have, everything from this next year out? Or is it that they just come to you?
So I try to plan, but sometimes the way my brain works, it's coming up with something now for next month. And I'm lucky when I'm like, can you pretty please watch this for me? I know it's shorter notice, and I try not to be really slow about it, but
Yeah.
I usually have like some ideas in the back of my mind, but I'm not one of those people who has the entire next year planned out. I'm not that organized.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I wish I could have that way, but
no,
I always feel like I'm playing catch up a little bit.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, working with me is very much like that. It's like just fly by the seat of my pants is my slogan. I totally get that. Do you feel like I had this really intriguing conversation with Mo Rima when I was talking Sassy Cats on the last episode. And it really like, I don't know, gave me shower thoughts. I was just really thinking about it that I feel like makers have their own ideas, their own inspirations. And again, I talked with Karen of Lacquer about this, that makers you have your own fingerprint. Most of us can tell whose bottle we're looking at. I know I can. I don't need to see the bottle. I need to see the finish. And I'm like, I can tell who that is. Do you feel like the trends, sales, things like that, especially for collabs like Polish Pickup, so very big. Do you feel like that sometimes kind of, I guess, constrains, for lack of better words, what you're going to produce, say for a collab or something like that?
Times. Like I don't think I've ever had a polish pickup polish that was yellow or like a straight orange, just because I knew that it's typically not what people want to buy.
Yeah.
So I do find myself, and granted, I don't love them as colors on my own nails either. So I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there are some things that people want to see, and there are some people or some things that people want to see from like a different brand.
Yeah. That's true. That's
Like
very true.
if you're looking at flakies, you're going to be looking at Cuticula and Rogue for sure.
Yeah.
Polish for Days. If you're looking for a crazy, crazy heavy shimmer, you're going to look for Great Lakes Lacquer. They're the brands that have their kind of things that they do really well.
Yeah.
And they tend to sell those as well too.
It's funny you'd say shimmers, but I feel like I would put you in that category. I would have to put shimmers.
I love them.
My God, you make some beautiful freaking shimmers. If those of you following, if you have not seen Jen's shimmers, I just go look. They speak for themselves. They're beautiful. Yeah, no, I would put you in that category too. Although the hollow flake, I do feel like that's your signature. Yeah, it just always intrigues me. I always wonder, having polishes released in your website versus a collab, because there are time constraints. There are things to consider, like what does this space look for? Do you think there's a difference between, say, those who shop on your website, like the trends you see there versus what you're seeing, say, in like Polish Pickup,
Mostly no. I think I try to do a basically some of everything.
Yeah.
Because I do love, heavy flake polishes. I do love my hollow flakes. I don't do as many magnetics as some other people do. And I shy away from glitters a bit.
Yeah.
Because they're not my favorite thing.
I get that. I feel like you have to be a real special person like me to really like glitters and have the patience for them. But Was it your coffee brew series? It was coffee brew, right? It was the no, it's not. Your sparklies, you did some glitters over the summer. Why am I thinking of
Oh,
coffee?
the caffeine drips.
It was okay, it
I'm
was
like,
coffee. It was
okay.
coffee. I was like, oh
Yeah,
god,
okay,
it's
okay.
something caffeine.
Yeah, the micro glitter, little holographic micro glitter, and technically those are more of a slightly thicker pigment versus a glitter.
Oh,
So they're not exactly the same as a typical poly glitter.
well, those are delicious. So
They remove so much easier.
so pretty, so sparkly. Again, if you don't know that Jen's released these things, please go check out the shop. Dirty Enabling. This is a fantastic brand to go check out. When you're creating for collabs and stuff, do you feel like that time constraint going back to that? Do you feel like that time constraint is just kind of like, does it like put gas on your fire, or does it just kind of like is it bothersome? Does it, do you ever feel like it's just harder to commit to say like a time constraint like that, like a collab versus doing something for your shop?
No, I don't think so. Sometimes it may not be like the absolute best version of a polish that I hoped for. That's not usually the case. I mean, I've done sometimes up to 20 different prototypes for one single thing just to get it just so.
Yeah.
My first collab polish ever was a Polished Gamers polish, and I think it was finally number 15 because I'm like, it has to be perfect.
15. Oh my goodness. Oh, do you feel like, I always wondered this because I will admit I've tinkered a little bit. Do you ever feel like making that many prototypes? I know, at least like when I was messing with it, I am not a freaking pro by any means. But I feel like anytime I was trying to do something, do you ever feel like you're like, I don't want to waste this? Right? Because the pigments are so expensive. And it's just like,
Yes, but when I do prototypes, I do one single bottle prototypes.
okay,
Some
that
makers will
makes sense.
do big batches. I just do
Mhm.
a single bottle because I have a thing about waste.
That makes sense. I guess that's probably why I don't know. I just feel like I don't think I could maybe even make that step because it's just like, yeah, it's like you order this stuff. I've said this on previous episodes, those of you listening. Pigments are very expensive for these makers. I mean, very expensive. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just in awe of you guys, like when you're making your prototypes and you're making stuff. Because even if it's one bottle, I just feel like it's just like, oh, this is so, precious pigment. Like I don't want to mess with it, but you have to, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, yeah, I just,
I try not to think about it while I'm doing it. More so, it's easier now that I buy my pigments in bulk directly from the manufacturer
mm,
versus when I used to buy from resellers where I'm like, okay, so a gram of this is going to be $9.
yeah,
Oh my God, did I just make a $14 nail polish?
right,
Like
right.
cost, you know? So it's not as bad. It's still significant. Um, it's definitely significant.
That makes sense. Ugh, yeah. I don't know. I admire what you guys do. I'll just say that. I admire what you guys do, and it's very impressive that I don't know.
Well, it's right back. I admire what all you swatchers do. You're incredible.
well, thank you.
The
But
patience that you have, the talent that you have, it's and it's a thankless job. Generally, it just you guys are amazing.
well, I mean, I think it boils down to it's a whole working relationship. I think that's really what makes the whole community go round. I think it's the makers and then it's the swatchers. It's just the general love of it. I think it's like that's what it has to boil down to every single time. We're all here for something. And even for like PBE and stuff, the amount of times I met somebody talking there and it was just like, I have so much anxiety. I have so much XYZ, just fill in the blank, right? And it's like, yeah, same. I know it doesn't make sense. Like someone like me, like I get on here. Yeah, right. But we push ourselves out of these comfort zones because it's something that we really freaking like. And it's the
Mm-hmm.
shit, the love of it.
Right.
So with
Definitely.
that said, I think we're okay on time. With that said, I want to kind of like go on to more like random topics just to get to know you as a
Okay.
maker.
All
Um,
right.
what are your hobbies? Isn't it like a like a dating app for a second?
So I love graphic design. I was a website designer, graphic designer, art director for many, many years.
Wow.
And so that still is a passion of mine. Um, and then I really love racing. So it's always been motorcycle racing. I used to race a motorcycle myself. My husband is a racer. He recently just retired. And then fairly recently, I've been getting into Formula One as well. Well, that's the last couple of years. So I love racing. I love going fast. I like cars. I have like a turbo necklace, gears. Yeah,
What
I
a
like.
badass. How do you get into that?
So I had a motorcycle and I loved riding it, and I wanted to learn how to ride better. So I took a race school basically. So it was at an actual racetrack,
Oh my
learn how to ride the
gosh.
bike better. And then that bug just bit me. And so I used to do track days all the time. One local track that closed down many years ago, they used to have ladies' nights. So there were maybe 5 or 10 of us out on the track. So I could just, go my own pace and just ride for hours and hours. And it was fun. And then I didn't love racing as much. My goal is just to always be not last. And I was
Yeah.
mostly successful at that, but it wasn't as I didn't really want to compete against anybody else. I just wanted to ride for me.
Yeah.
So I just kind of continued to just do my own thing versus racing. And then I do love video games.
Yes.
I
Yes,
do
yes, yes.
love video games.
What's the most recent that you played?
The most recent was Elder Scrolls Online.
Hell yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I kind of have one of those personalities where if I start playing something, I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to play it until 4 in the morning until the next
Yeah.
day. So I have to pace myself for when I'm doing new games. So if I have a lot going on, I just can't play a game because it won't get done.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. My husband and I are couch co-oping Diablo 4 right now.
Oh,
And
nice.
oh my gosh, like it's funny because I mean we're both really like super like D&D RPG type of nerds. And so like the idea we get to build our own little characters, of course I'm a sorceress. He's a barbarian, which if anyone knows anything about him, it just makes sense. And so just the fact that we get to sit here and it's one of those games where you just grind and grind and grind. And like
Uh-huh.
even after we beat it, I'm just like, okay, we got to start doing the campaigns now. We got to start getting the extra content. We just finished it, so we're grinding on like Torment 2 right now, and I'm not gonna bore the audience
Did
but
you say Torment too?
Torment 2, yeah.
Like Planescape Torment?
No,
Okay.
for how difficult the bosses are. So as you keep grinding,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so it just gets to the point where like you start having more and more hordes coming to your characters.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are their damage and their health points like so freaking high, like you have to hit like in the millions at this point. Um, they start to do more status ailments on you, and you have to get a little more clever with your builds. It's amazing. Yeah, I love
Um,
video
I
games too.
I love the Diablo series. I played them since the beginning. I started off on PC, and I did
Yes.
get my husband to play. I think three with me when it came out. Same couch co-op type thing. We haven't played four yet. I'm waiting till the winter.
No, I feel like with like Diablo, it's like it's almost like it never ends until it does. Like you're just gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
going. Oh, it's such a magical game. I love it so much, and it's just I don't know. It's like you can get your frustration out on it. It's like
That's
I had
very
a, I had
true.
a, I had a real shit day. Like, let's go like beat up some bosses, like some elites, I love
Mm-hmm.
it. So outside of video games and like racing, that is so cool. Like, do you still do it like frequently? Like,
No, my motorcycle just mostly sits in the garage. Where I live now, it's kind of in the boondocks, and it's not really conducive to fun riding. So
no,
it just
no.
kind of gathers dust, sadly.
I have a uncle-in-law that is like really into motorcycles. And like this was so long ago. I don't know. My oldest was like 2 at this time. So it was a long time ago. And I remember they're in Oklahoma. And we got to go on these like back roads. And he was like, "Do you want to ride?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I do." And we went and it was like, yeah, I can get it. I'm just, oh. That is so cool. So cool.
It's fun.
Are you into books, movies, anything like that?
Obviously I like sci-fi.
Yes, yes,
Whether
yes,
it's
yes.
books, whether it's shows, whether it's movies, that's kind of my thing. Um, I did just finish a book that one of my swatchers actually had a story about, and it's called The Other Side of Now, a novel. And
Okay.
I don't want to describe it at all because it just will absolutely spoil it, but it was a really interesting read.
Is it
I basically just read it all day yesterday. It's just like fiction,
okay?
contemporary fiction, I guess.
What's it called again? I'm gonna put that in my
The
Goodreads.
Other Side of Now, a
The other side now.
novel.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in my stuff.
It was really
Um,
good.
I recently started. I started listening to audiobooks while I swatch now, and so I'm like blowing through books big time. But so I'm like amassing this whole list for things to go off of. But it's interesting.
Well, I've been reading and a lot more recently, and then I was actually talking to my husband after I was reading, I think the Throne of Glass series because I came into that pretty late. But I'm like,
Mhm.
man, now I know why people listen to audiobooks because you can't get anything done just reading this much.
Right. No, it's so true. I will say that the current, it's not a trilogy because I know I picked out this series because the one I'm listening to right now, I picked it up because I thought it was done. I saw it was 3 books and I was like, I am not getting into anything that's not a complete series. I'm not doing that to myself. And I thought it was finished. And then I'm on book 3 now and I'm like, oh no. Because when I had to buy the next book, I saw it was coming up for book 4
Mhm.
pre-order for, unknown date or whatever. And I was like, damn it, why did I do that? And it's
That
it's
is
so
annoying.
good. But no, I feel Thorn and Glass, a court of thorn and roses. I'm gonna sound like such a
Mhm.
noob saying that. What was the other one? Crescent City. All
Mhm.
I haven't listened to any of those or read them or anything like that. So I'm with you. Like I'm behind, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I very much enjoyed Crescent City.
Mm.
I really liked the Accord of Thorns and Roses. I did not love Throne of Glass. I
See,
did not love it.
I feel like some people are like all in, or you're kind of like, I don't know about this. I'm kind of
They're like, it's not my thing. If I never have to hear the phrase a particularly vulgar gesture again in my life, I will be happy. It was just it's I'm too nitpicky about romantic fantasy.
no, same. And I had that talk with Karen. I was just like, I'm very picky too, and I don't know if it's is it because I'm a little older now or what is it? But I'm just like, I I can't do a main female character who's not going to stand up for herself or handle a male figure, being crappy to her.
Agreed. Or
I don't want to hear
uh,
that.
I can't even remember what it's called right now, but the main character, she was in love with her, the male main character, and she had a misunderstanding, and her decision is to just go off and mope and never talk to him and be heartbroken versus just listening to what the hell he has to say. I'm like, this is just
Right. No, yeah, I get it. And I think a lot of it too for me, I'm real picky about is, and in this, the current series I'm listening to is, the main female character, she's 25. And I will say it starts off where I couldn't stand her in the first book. And I was powering through it because I really liked the world building and the magic system
Mhm,
was really unique. I liked that. So I stuck through it and the main male characters are pretty awesome.
mhm,
But for the most part, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then it's there for a reason. Like she's gonna have just her world screwed up in book 2 and have to
mhm.
grow up. But I think a lot of it too is they're so young, and I don't want to hear
Right,
that.
right.
Like, just
That's fair. That's
ugh.
fair.
And
That's
I hate
fair.
to
I'm like,
say
hey, you're
that,
less than
but
half my age. Okay.
yeah. So I'm just kind of
I guess when
like,
I was half my age, I made some bad decisions too.
yeah. No, it's like, okay, I know 19-year-old me was very questionable as a human. So it's like, I get it, but I don't want to be reminded of all those bad decisions. I don't need that in my life. Okay, so we are coming up to the last 2 minutes.
Okay.
With that said, do you have anything you want to plug? Those of you watching, we have 2 more days as of this episode going up for you to grab Jen's Polish Pickup Shade for Optical Illusions. It is on the FOMO list right now. I have been letting y'all know we're down to less than 100 bottles, so go grab it. For your upcoming releases or anything, do you have anything you'd like to share for what's on your nails or anything like that?
I'll have these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 20th, actually, it's not the 20th, it's the third Saturday, which I think is the 18th. Sorry, I have a look under my face because I feel like I need to sneeze.
You're fine. I've been backing up this whole time.
Okay. No, on the 18th, Taylor from Royal Elite and I are doing a monthly Shitty Polish collab now. So it's polishes inspired by Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
And we have our next one coming up on the 18th.
On the 18th. Okay.
Yep.
Your food fight collection, your Black Friday stuff, you go up a little bit earlier, right? For that?
For Black Friday, I usually do during Black Friday. Food fight,
okay.
Last year, I think I released it pretty late. So I'm trying to make those more in line for if people actually want to wear it on Thanksgiving, they'll have it by then. So that's why I'm releasing it this month instead.
Okay. Well, thank you again for doing this. I really appreciate it. And again, for your patience. I just, had all my issues
totally
last month. But of course, we got super cut off. But thank you all so much for watching this episode. Again, thank you so much, Jen, for doing this with me. I know it takes a lot to do it. And as of this episode going up, we have 1 more day to shop Jen and Barry's through Polish Pickup for this month's Optical Illusions theme. Do not miss out on Mantis Masquerade. It is gorgeous. We are down to our last couple of bottles and for the shop ending too, so don't miss out. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in for this month's episode of Polish Pickup TV. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you all so much, and we will see you again for next month's shop.